Yeah, let's go.
Hey everybody, it's Aram Banyan.
Timothy Bennett here. B&B Banter Bros.
Yeah. And another pre-D&D podcast.
Yes, D&D day.
Part 2.
It's been over a month for sure.
Yeah, but we knew it was going to be about that.
Yeah. I'm just glad we were able to get it.
Yeah.
Super excited.
After I had to cancel on Sunday. But
Right? The devil. The devil. I was so sad about that.
I guess technically speaking, it wasn't even canceled. At this point, I just postponed it 2 days.
It's true you did. And you know what? It's fine. Because it worked out perfect. Because Kaylee has today off, so she didn't have to request it off. Yeah. Which is mainly the hard part, is to get away from the kid.
Always a hard part. You know, especially when you have kids. The other 2 members of this D&D thing don't have children, so they don't have the same problem.
That's because they are children.
It's true. Very true. Dredge is an artist, so I mean, he's always going to be a child to some degree.
Yeah, and then Trevor's just young enough to be practically a child himself. I think he's only like 23. I actually have no idea how old he is, but he seems just like he's like 22, 23.
He's got the aloofness of a young 20s. Good kid, good guy.
I like him, but I have no idea how old he is. And then you got the old man sitting across from me.
Yep.
But yeah, so today is D&D day, and this is going to be our second session.
Yep.
So we're going to do a little pre-podcast, and hopefully we're going to keep doing it. Eventually, hopefully we can get Dreads or even Trevor or whoever else is playing with us to kind of join in and do a little pre-game podcast with the group, because that'll be a little fun to see who else what they think is going to happen, and all that stuff.
Most definitely.
But, in due time, hopefully.
Yeah. As soon as things get a little easier to travel around and whatnot, maybe it'll be
right. Yeah. This COVID shit's just, even though it's starting to settle down a little bit, it's still an inconvenience.
Oh, most definitely.
To have any kind of life. And I think I had a conversation with Kaylee about this. It's like, this is just the world telling us that we need to be a little more independent.
Yeah.
We need to be okay with ourselves. So, last session we had, Aram, give us a quick brief skim through of what we did last session.
The last session, Dreads and I ended up meeting up in a little port town whose name escapes me right now.
Westerly.
That's it. And then we saved a girl from being, maybe not saved her from being assaulted, but saved her from being assaulted further. So
or if anything, killed.
Don't think we made it in time to stop everything. And then we ended up going to Barter's Inn, the name of the town, where Trevor's character, whose name escapes me, was he's a bard.
Yeah, he's a bard.
So he was there with his with 2 performers performing for an extended period of time on stage, and we literally ran into him.
Yep.
And then he took us on a roundabout tour of the city that we didn't need.
Yeah, because you and him bumped into each other.
Yeah,
and
as I literally ran into each other. And then proceeded to try and find the brother and sister? Her sister.
Yeah, you were looking for her sister. She was looking for her sister, and last time she had heard that it was in this place, Barter Inn or whatever. But then she discovered her brother was also there, and she had thought that he had died.
Right.
But as you guys are notorious so far of doing, you guys completely just back away from main plot points.
We don't do side quests.
Well, it's not even a side quest. It was like you guys don't seem to want to continue further. You're just like, oh, okay, well, we're done. Let's move on to something else now. The ADD in this group is just ridiculous.
That's not ADD. That's hyper focus. We were hyper focused on one quest.
You were.
Yes.
You were. You are. But the other two just seemed to be like, oh, sure, okay. Why not?
Well, he's leaving. I guess we go with him.
Right? Like, there were no questions. Like, you guys didn't ask any questions or anything about what? Oh, you just accepted it face value.
Everything happened. Seems fine.
Let's go find something
Moving
else to do. Yeah. And then what else?
Then we we went and met with a magic. Well, he's the owner / proprietor of a magic shop. Who I can't remember what pardon me. Can't remember what per se it was. He was like had this like weird split in his personality, almost like he would basically like when threatened, he kind of switched gears and almost basically turned into a black hole.
So it's almost like if you want to think of it as like a parasite or something like he's being a host to something else.
That was the way it was explained, and my character took that as something that we should get rid of.
Right.
So we tried to take him out, and it didn't work out so hot.
And then what happened?
I lost a hand.
But what happened then?
I got it back afterwards, but...
But then what happened?
I know dreads and...
No, I mean, to your hand.
Yeah, it's like... Is it all black or is it all white?
Yeah, it's pretty much all black. It's like there's an absence to color because you were in a void. And so you lost it to a void, and then when you got it back...
That's right. I knew I got it back.
So now you have pretty much a black hand.
I gotta figure out if I have feeling in it or not.
Yeah, you have full control and everything.
Control and feeling are two different things.
Well, yeah. But you it's back to normal, essentially. It's just there's no pigment. It's kind of like I kind of explained or compared to... Now, nobody else will understand this except for anybody who's read Sandman Slim, but it's like a kissy hand, just not bug-like.
Right. It's not so much that it's black, it's just there's an absence of color.
Yep. Yeah. So, because you were in a whole other realm, or it was lost to a whole other realm. But luckily enough...
lost it doing a dope-ass move.
Luckily enough... Hey, yeah, you tried at least. But luckily enough, the way that his... the kind of host entity creature thing, it kind of puts reality back after it took it away. Because it's not of this world, so it can't really...
Can't hold on to it.
Yeah. So... And, so you met that guy.
And then...
You remember what his name was?
Oh... Ren? No, that's not it.
No. Ren. Kylo Ren. Pharrell.
That's right. Yep.
He owned a magic shop that Trevor's character, the bard, tried to visit twice, and it was locked. And then
we spent like an hour and a half trying to break into it.
That was kind of ridiculous. I mean, it was fun, but
the worst like heist movie moments ever.
Yeah. Well, and so Dred's like literally just a couple minutes beforehand was in this shop, right? You guys are buying gear and whatever you wanted to buy. You were in a general store shop.
Yeah.
And Dred's literally just bought a grappling hook and some rope. And you guys he couldn't figure it out. He couldn't push it. He couldn't piece that together.
What's worse is I had those shoes of spider climbing in my inventory. I legitimately could have just walked up the wall.
Yeah, well, you guys didn't think anything of that, so I had to nudge.
I wasn't even on board with breaking into the place.
Well, that's true.
If we remember, I just tried to break the door with a mace or something.
Yeah, and what happened?
I got thrown away.
Yeah, flat on your ass. Yep. But I had to send Dred's a text saying, "Hey, why don't you check your inventory and see if there's something useful?" So he did, and he's like, "Oh." And so, like, because you guys weren't paying attention to Dred's, but obviously I'm looking at Dred's through the monitor. And he like looked through his paper, and I'm watching him, and he goes, so he went, "Oh." Like, duh.
That's funny. Yeah, I missed that entirely.
So, but anyway, you guys got in, and
then once everything calmed back down, we talked to the guy, and I think he told us that the way to, was it to stop him or to cure him?
He's looking for answers, but
okay.
That's all as of right now. He's just looking for answers that he doesn't have, and he thinks that he knows of somebody who could provide some more information.
A witch of the woods, or in the woods, and which we figured out was basically the woods. Were almost a straight shot to the capital city, which is where I was heading.
Yep.
Because I was summoned by the king. I'm still not clear on why, but I was summoned by the king. So we just said, well, we'll just go straight shot through the woods. We'll hit. We figured we'd try to skirt the town that Dreads came from because he stole a bunch of shit from him.
Yeah, he's not on good terms there.
Yeah, so we'll skirt around that and then go to the capital city, gather information on the witch, and figure out why the hell the king wanted me.
Yep.
Go back into the woods to find the witch, and then head back to Barter's Inn to meet up with that guy again, Pharrell again.
Yep. Now
that's the plan.
Now, what's the thing about these woods?
Well, the trees are like miles high.
Yeah, they're gigantic.
Yeah.
The woods are gigantic. It's probably like a whole borderline close to like a whole or half a state.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's probably like the size of like, I don't know, New Hampshire.
Yeah. Seems fair. But so we walk into the woods and promptly ended up going off track. Because walking in dense woods, you have no real way of like knowing if you've turned just slightly or moved off the path. We couldn't see the edge of the forest at the point that we finally stopped him. I think it was me that was like, does anyone have a compass?
Yeah. Yeah, because you guys aren't familiar with the woods.
Right.
It's your first time in these woods, and you guys don't know where you're going.
Yeah, we just figured we'd walk straight, but that didn't work out so well. And so through celestial navigation, essentially, we figured out the direction we were going. We figured out we were like way off course, and got back on course. Bunked down in a clearing for the night, and were promptly attacked. Well, not attacked, but I guess accosted by the Wild Pack. Is that what they were called? Yep. So they're like shape-shifting bandits.
Yeah.
It was a warthog, a wolf, a bear, and a lion.
Yep.
Which apparently we weren't supposed to fight.
You weren't supposed to fight, no. Like, it was supposed to be kind of to be honest, I didn't really know what I was wanting to do until I was about to do it.
We made that decision.
You guys made the decision for me. But I was just supposed to
intimidate?
Intimidate, yeah. I don't know why I keep trying to say imitate. Intimidate you guys, and kind of, I guess, was supposed to intimidate you guys, but mainly they were just going to rob you or try to rob you, and then I was
really had anything anyway.
No, but then I was going to lead you into something else. But you guys completely fucked my entire plan up, which is fine. You're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But you guys took it way above your pay grade.
And came out victorious. We killed 3 of them, and the lion I scared off.
Yeah, you got lucky on that one, because the lion was the smartest. He was the leader, first of all.
Yeah.
He was like the smartest, and you just made him run away. So if he was to actually have a play, if he was taken, you guys would not have survived. Like the first game, and then I would have had to kill you guys already, but such is life.
Yeah, I've got another character written up, so...
Yeah, it's true, you do. But... yeah, proceed. You guys.
But yeah, so we ended up taking out. I think that's where we left off. Was basically right after we got done with the battle.
Yeah. How long was the battle?
Oh, that was in real time with us sitting here. I think that like an hour and a half.
Oh no, it was almost 3 hours.
I was just fighting those guys.
Yeah, it was a good from like start to when you guys were settling down and then coming to finish. It was pretty close to 3 hours. It was like 2.5 hours for sure. Yeah. Yep, 2.5 hour fight.
Yeah, it was pretty bonkers.
And it was bonkers. And it was like you
Dreads
guys
running around like Jesus with his cup.
you guys were lucky by pure roll of the dice. Mm-hmm. Like, I had some horrible rolls, and you guys did fairly well.
Now, this being said, this time around, the dice gods will not be in our favor, and we'll just get annihilated.
Especially since I have 5 new sets of dice.
Well, I brought 3 or 4 sets of my own, so I mean, if I gotta switch them up, I can switch them up.
Well, I haven't put that energy into them, so who knows what's going to happen. These are fresh off the line. So.
Fresh off the block.
Yep. We're going to see what kind of juju they have. But yeah, that's where you guys ended. So what do you expect for today? I mean,
I'm hoping I make it out of the fucking woods. So that's my first hope. I don't hold a lot of hope for it, but that's be like one thing I'd like. I don't know. We talked about the fact that that's not the whole wild pack, so that means that the rest of them are out there somewhere. So I'm willing to bet they come back into play at some point today. I'd be willing to bet. That's just how my luck runs. But yeah, like I'm hoping to make it at least to the capital and get some answers as to why I was summoned and see where the quest goes from there. That's kind of my main goal. Make it out of the woods alive.
Obviously, I'm glad you emphasize on alive. But
my characters are already crazy, so I mean I don't have to be sane, but I just need to be alive.
I mean, I could make you undead.
That's true. I mean, I feel like my patron god would do something about that, but
yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. What is like? I mean, you kind of said what you want to, but what is it that you anticipate this
session? What do I anticipate? I mean, to be fair, I'd have to say more bungling. I think there's going to be a lot of situations that are probably mishandled.
It's like the Three Stooges over here.
It is. It's very much. It's not even an intentional comedic run. It just ended up being that way.
Yep.
Through sheer incompetence. But yeah, I can only imagine that, we'll run into characters that we're supposed to delve further into that we're not going to. But hopefully we'll have learned from last time and we'll ask more questions, but I can't guarantee it.
Right. Well, the thing about D&D, and this is something I tried to tell people who first start, I naturally am an analytical guy, so I consistently am analyzing and thinking of things.
Right.
So that's, I think, something I enjoy about, like, I like puzzles, and I like role-playing games, and I like RPG games and stuff like that, video games and stuff like that, because I like that analyzing, figuring things out. This is something I'm kind of naturally good at. It doesn't mean I'm always successful, it's just what I do, and it's kind of a natural thing. And so in D&D, although it's been a long time since I've been able to play as just a character and not DM'd, I thrive on those thinking, like, and I same with movies, analyzing films and things like that. I'm always like trying to guess the plot, where they're going to go, or what's going to happen next, because I think to myself, what would I do, or how cliche is this going to really be, or whatever. And then for me, that's where I get that appreciation for it, because if it takes me off surprise or off balance, or does something that doesn't seem like it's been done before, it's not just so typical, then I have more of appreciation. But when you just steal everything from everything else, I'm sorry, there's a lack of lust in that, and I don't there's nothing there, it can still be a good and entertaining film, but it doesn't mean that I hold it in my graces or anything,
No,
so
that's fair.
I look at it as D&D is the same way, and like, you always have to be thinking about what's around you and things of that nature. And so I always have this kind of thought, my surroundings always being observational, and not necessarily being afraid to ask questions to DM or anything, because half the time, being a DM myself, most other DMs are like, they're just winging it.
Right.
So they'll come up with it on the spot. But then I'm also consistently thinking, like, what would I do? What would I do in the situation if I was a DM? But then again, it comes down to being a DM, playing DM. It's a little different than somebody who hasn't DM'd. because I have an understanding of how to create and control and whatever, unlike somebody else.
And to be fair, I'm very much playing my character.
No, you are. You are doing fine. Everybody is, for the most part, especially towards the end. Yeah. I felt like you guys, that battle, that last battle, a 2.5 hour battle, was a needed thing, because you guys found your characters very well, but you also found your guys' characters together as as a team. Now you guys are like this. You guys were like this. Now you've touched the tips, and now you're playing with each other.
Now we're crossing swords.
Yep. No, it's just you guys found that bond because you had to survive together to come out in the end. So that's why I'm really curious on where you guys are going to go now and how it's going to play out. But I think, like you said, you guys will probably be thinking a little more thoroughly now.
Yeah, and I think that's the part that I'm defending, is that like my character didn't ask a lot of questions and he kind of just left things behind because he has a single-minded focus on I'm getting to where I need to go.
But it's not even about asking questions as much as just thinking a little more. And you can't sit there and long on a thought too much either, because you need to keep the pace going. Yeah. If there's too much dead silence, then I have to provide something, and the whole point is not to do that. So you kind of have to keep this pace going. But it's kind of like, I guess it's like improv in music. You have a groove, you have a swing, you have the setup for you, but you need to be able to play within the things and play within time and make sure it still sounds good. Otherwise, it throws everything off.
There's parameters.
Yep. And so that's kind of what you guys just need to do a little bit more of, is keep your mind a little more activated of, like, what should I be paying attention to? It's not just listening to me, but also trying to envision those things around you, because there are things that you guys should be asking me that I'm not planned for, that I have to think about. And you've done a couple of those for sure. You've definitely put me on my toes several times. Mainly it's I have to switch my whole game up at last minute. And like I said, several times you guys
off course.
Yeah, you guys were supposed to spend a little bit more time in Westerly, and you didn't do that. And then you guys were supposed to spend a little bit more time with the siblings. You didn't do that.
Oh, everything's fine.
And so I had to just kind of push things along, but at least I've gotten you on the track where I want you. Yeah, which is the whole point. So it's really weird as a DM. You have to have, like, I'm the one who created the world. I created this entire map and this outline. I, at least in my head, have to have an idea of when I see this map, at least this is how I do it. I know where, if you guys were to turn here, I need to have some kind of idea of what's going to be here. Or if you turn here, I need to have an idea of what's going to be here to keep it more interesting. And then I have my main plot points, or my main missions or main focuses that you guys have to reach. But I have to do those little sub things. It's a good thing about playing video games, like role-playing video games, like, the God of War games, or like even like Grand Theft Auto and those kind of things where it's open world. You have all your main focus, your main storyline, but you have all these little sub things that kind of help you out as you go along. So mainly it's what I call experience boosters. Yeah. So they're not necessarily so important to the storyline, but they definitely are good for you. They definitely help you out. It's not a waste of time. That's why my Fallout 4 character is 60th level, and I've only gotten a quarter of the way through the story.
I think I probably erased a file, but I think my guy was at like level 55, and I was in the DLC stuff at that point.
Oh yeah, I haven't even bothered with that stuff. But I also lost my 4 years worth of Fallout. Ooh. Did I tell you about that?
I think you told me that the file was corrupted or something like that.
No, I apparently reformatted my PlayStation. Ooh. So I lost everything. I also had Borderlands on there that I've been working on for a year or two, and yeah, Fallout was 4 years worth of making. I had all my settlements, all of them. They were living in luxury. All that time, all that effort. I was like 60 something level, and but Kaylee made a good point. She's like, you know what? Sometimes it's nice to start new. And I'm like, I'm gonna keep that in mind with our relationship later. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Not at all.
Chelsea always gets mad at me when I start new characters, even though I haven't finished the game. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, I like being able to know what it all. Let's just play like.
Yeah. I tried to do that with Borderlands, where I beat the game with, like, with the first game at least, I beat the game with Brick.
Yeah.
And then
I beat him with too.
Huh?
That's what I beat it with too.
Yeah, so I played him first. Oh, I loved it. And I beat the game, and then I went back and tried to play as Roland.
Yep. And
I got maybe halfway through before I changed it up and then tried to play Lilith. And then I was like, I'm just kind of bored. I think I've done as much. So that's hours and hours and hours of my time.
It does get tedious. Starting the intro shit over and over again in any game.
But then I played the second game, and I didn't do that in the second game because then I bought the extended or the year version, which had all those other stuff, the modules and stuff, and I still haven't beaten all of those. But I love Borderlands. You remember when me, you, and Rob played that one day?
Good times.
It was a bitch to figure out how to get us all.
Yeah.
I think we spent probably half the time trying to figure out how to join. But that was a long time ago.
Times.
Yeah.
I wonder, because I still have Borderlands 2 for the Xbox 360 on my Xbox One. I wonder if I couldn't hook up somehow.
Yeah. I mean,
you'd have to actually play, but...
Yeah, I mean, the problem is do we have any time for it?
That's not late at night.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest problem, because between our podcast that we try to make time for,
right,
D&D that we're trying to make time for, and then just everything else outside of life.
Yeah, it doesn't leave a lot of room.
The only time I get to play my video games is when I'm watching a kid and I'm either choosing to be a little lazy and I don't really want to do anything, or I don't have anything I really need to do and the kid's taking a nap, or Kaylee's home watching the kid and I can actually play a little game. But I don't spend more than an hour playing it at that time. So
I don't spend a ton of time playing video games anymore either. A lot of my time ends up being, it's not even that I don't want to play, like I just can't find what I want to play. Like nothing seems to interest me for more than a little bit, and then it's like, oh no, this is boring, and I have to go on to something else.
Yeah, so for me it's just when I want something mindless to do, even though I'm still thinking of stuff. To me it's relaxing to just sit there and play a video game. But I would rather be doing this. I would rather be spending more time on like the D&D stuff, or spending time on our podcast thing, because that's more of like what I want to be doing actively.
No, I feel you on that.
And but I'm excited. We should
wrap her up.
Yeah, let's wrap her up. We should definitely hold on to what this session brings. Hopefully everybody can make it. I know Dreads is, and you are. Hopefully Trevor can make it. I think it'd be cool, but if not, then we'll just play. We'll
just act like he's just playing his loot in the background.
Right. What I do, because I've done this before, what I do when characters are missing is they're there, but they're absent. You know what I mean? Like everything that you go, they pick up where you left off. You guys would usually just catch them up.
Right.
Any kind of loot and stuff, you still spread experience points. You still spread, so he can get free experience points for not being here.
Son of a bitch.
But it's only if he comes back,
Right.
So I keep it in mind. But if he misses more than 2, then I don't do that, because at that point there's so much that he's missed.
Oh yeah, there's hours upon hours.
Especially because we play for 12 hours.
Long periods,
And I also invited one of Kaylee's old work friends, or I can't say friends, but one of her work people. Her name is Danny. She's actually from Buffalo too.
Right on.
Like 10 years apart, but I invited her and her boyfriend. Their work schedules are kind of crazy. They very seldom get time off together. He usually works at night and she usually works in the morning. So, but I did mention, like, if you guys are interested, I'm very leisure. It'll be fun. I know that they've said that they tried to play with some friends of theirs before and it was just a little intimidating. I'm like, trust me, I guarantee I can make it work for you guys where it doesn't come off intimidating.
Right.
So,
I mean, I'm not exactly well versed in D&D, and Trevor, I don't know Trevor's acumen, but I mean, Dreads was the one that we really got into D&D, and he really took off with it.
Yeah, he's probably spent more time on the 5th edition and stuff than I have, than anybody else here. and then I would say it would be Trevor. I mean, I'm still new at the 5th edition stuff, but the difference is I've been playing longer than all of you.
You at least have the older editions, like in your back of your mind.
I've been playing since I was 8 years old, so
yeah,
I understand this world.
Right.
I just don't always. I don't memorize the rules or memorize like all the little detailed things, but that's why they have books.
Yeah.
It's not my job to know your character. It's your job.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, and that's kind of where we should see if Rob wants to play.
Yeah, if we can hold him. I've tried to shoot him a text a few times or shoot him a message. He just doesn't respond.
No? Oh.
Yeah, we could see if he wants to play. I'd be down for that.
I feel like this would be something he would be interested in. He's pretty nerdy.
Yeah, I still see him on Steam every now and again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, give it a shot.
Yeah,
shoot him an invite and see if it happens. If not, no big deal. I did tell you I got a hold of Klinkner finally, right?
Did you? No, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, he finally messaged me on Instagram and said, like, yeah, that'd be cool. And I haven't heard back from him. Probably
that sounds about right.
Probably be another month, but I told him to give us a listen to see if it'd be something he wanted.
Yeah, for sure.
Mind joining. So, just kind of BS.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But all right, let's wrap it up. Right. So, today's D&D game, D&D Day, Session 2. This, we will have a post D&D.
We'll do a post one in the next couple days here, probably.
Yep, and the next little podcast with it. So, and then you get the full experience of what happened afterwards. And I just want to keep this going.
Yeah, me too, man.
Let's see what we can do. So,
yeah, for sure.
Timothy Bennett,
Aram Banyan,
and you can catch us, by the way, on Facebook, Instagram, and we even have an email. So, if you check on our little details below on each of the episodes, they're there.
Yep.
And please shoot us a message. We'd like to get to know you.
Rate us if you have the option. I know Spotify listeners, as far as I can tell, don't have rating things.
I don't know how that works on those
all I ever
devices.
notice is like following like certain podcasts, so I don't know if that helps at all. But yeah, if you find a way to rate us, give us a 5-star rating, it would be awesome. But
or just shoot us a message and let us know what you want to hear us talk about. We're open.
Us. We don't know everything about this, so
nope. So, but all right, we'll catch you later.
Later.
Peace.